So anyway, so if anybody has known about a situation where a 17-year-old went missing from Fishers, Indiana. She went missing back in January, and she was recently, she was reported missing like a day or two after. Her name is Hailey Buzbee, 17 years old. And essentially what ended up happening is this guy came and picked her up in January, and they're just now finding her remains. Now let's talk about this for a second. So we can actually take a look at the article here, and we'll follow along together. The best that we can. Let's do it like this. We ain't gonna do that. Actually, no, we're gonna do that. All right. So here's the article. Hopefully you guys can see it. If you can't, you can't. If you can't, just follow it. It'll be the link will be in the comments. But so Franklin County, Ohio. But it's all started off in Fishers, Indiana, which is Indianapolis, right? So the girl, Hailey, she goes missing. She leaves a note to her parents like, "Hey, I'm leaving. Don't come looking for me." That's what they said, right? And so she was gone. Her parents put in that missing, put the missing report in, and there's like all this like red tape you have to go through. And that's something I want everybody to look at, right? I want everybody to look at that in regards to what it takes to report somebody missing, because there's a lot of caveats. I'll have to take the glasses off, guys. Jesus Christ. Um, so what inevitably the police and law enforcement, they have to wait so much time before they can be like, all right, they really missing, because this could be, just a kid that's just rebelling and all that. You know how that goes. But here we have an article here about what we found out, because we just found out recently that she was found. She was found in some woods. So let's go over it real quick. So this guy, Tyler Thomas, now faces federal charges in connection with the disappearance of 17-year-old Hailey Buzbee. This comes as court documents reveal that the two met on Discord while playing games like Roblox and League of Legends. So they've been so this guy, he is 39 years old. And he's on these, at least one of these I know as like Roblox. Roblox is a predatory type of place. A lot of kids play Roblox. I don't play Roblox. I play Assassin's Creed and NBA 2K and Madden. And after the game is over, there's no more contact. It's just I beat your ass, and that is what it is. But in this situation here, we're gonna get into all this stuff. We'll talk about preventative measures and all that type of stuff later. And we're not even gonna throw blame out there to just anybody. What we are going to do is just gonna let's walk it down, all right? Let's walk it down first, and then we'll get into it. So they got they found the guy. Now, mind you, she was gone in January. They just found her in February, so she's gone like a month. And so he got, after they found him and they figured out who he was, they found him, got new charges, and the feds actually took this. The feds picked this up. And he's getting hit with one count of sexual exploitation of not a major, but a, Kendrick Lamar says something. And then one count of travel and interstate commerce with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. So again, this Thomas kid, or this Tyler Thomas man, 39, was already charged with 2 counts in the state court in Ohio for pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor. He's already in trouble for this shit, messing with kids, and creating, producing material, a level 2 felony, and tampering with evidence. Alter, destroy, conceal, remove, record, a level 3 felony. Now, from what they're saying is that the court documents that were recently released, and shout to Fox 59 in Indianapolis, they show that this Thomas guy and Hailey had been communicating with each other for more than a year before Hailey left with him January 5th. That communication happened on an encrypted messaging service called Session and through an unspecified gaming platform. So that's something that we need to, as parents out here, put this in the back of your mind when you're looking at your kid's phone. You need to look for something called Session. Okay, that's where they could do encrypted messaging. You have to have like a special code for anybody to even look at your messages. You have to have a special code. It's encrypted. And then they said an unspecified gaming platform. Now we know that they were talking on Roblox and League of Legends. Poor thing. This is her out of Fishers. So Thomas told police he picked up Hailey from her Fishers home and drove her to Columbus, Ohio, which is like, I want to say 2.5, 3 hours away. And they believe that she took her final breath in Hocking County, Ohio, which is not too far from Columbus, I want to say. Investigators found videos of Hailey that were in nature on the guy's phone, according to court documents. They also said he attempted to delete said videos. Now, they're saying Hailey left her home on January 5th, and on January 19th, the Fishers Police Department said the Hamilton Southeastern student was considered an endangered missing juvenile. So think about that. How long is that? Was that like 14 days that they decided to start giving a damn about a little girl? She might be wearing a very specific hairstyle that's specific to neither here nor there. But 14 days, that's when the Fishers Police Department said that now she's considered an endangered missing juvenile. On February 1st, authorities announced the arrest of Thomas. So they found him, what would that be? Like 12 days later? And they arrested him. And they said that she's just presumed not here anymore, right? So the guy ended up helping to lead the police to her remains in Perry County, Ohio, according to his attorney. So he got this attorney named Sam Szymanski. The FBI reportedly picked up Thomas from the Franklin County Jail on February 1st so he could help them locate her remains. So she had been gone since January 5th, almost a month. But they figured it out, right? So what are these documents saying? So the federal complaint provided more of an outline of Hailey's disappearance. On January 6th, the document said that Buzbee's parents or Hailey's parents awoke to find that their daughter was missing. So they saw her the night before. They wake up. She's not there. She had taken her cell phone and a few personal items. So by using something, and this is all caps, Flock, F-L-O-C-K. So by using flock camera footage, law enforcement identified a suspect vehicle, an Acura SUV. I didn't know Acura made those. In the area at the supposed time of the disappearance. While the SUV had an Indiana license plate, they know that the vehicle's pattern of life was primarily in Columbus, Ohio. So law enforcement officials contacted the vehicle's owner. They reportedly told the officers that Thomas may have been driving the vehicle, a fact later confirmed by the owner as well as by Thomas during the interview. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot to unpack when we get all the facts. Like, how did this happen? What happened? We just know this. She was playing games online as a 39-year-old trying to talk to kids. And he's apparently a serial PDF file. So we'll get that information eventually. So as we get updates on this, I'll definitely let y'all know. But just trying to see. They still calling gay in the chat. That's fine. Anyway, during the initial interview, so Thomas reportedly told law enforcement that he had met her online through Discord and had been playing various video games with her online, including Roblox and League of Legends, along with communications through this Session messaging app, which, like I said, as parents, we all need to go look at this and see what the Session app is and make sure your kids don't got on their phone. Because if you got that on your phone, it's kind of like Snapchat. Yes, some people like Snapchat for the filters. I get it. But there are some people in this world that like Snapchat to keep things on the low. I personally use Snapchat because I put all of my movie reviews and whatnot on all social media. I don't care what it is. I'll put it on MySpace today if I want to. I'll put this video on MySpace. But the thing is, look on y'all kids' phone because that's a sneaky app. That's an app to be sneaky. So look on your kid's phone for session app. So apparently this guy you're seeing right here, this is the Tyler Thomas guy. He claimed that Hailey had been the one to ask him to pick her up from her Fisher's home in an interview on January 21st. So they didn't arrest him until like the 1st. But they were on top of this, I guess, a few days later. So Thomas told law enforcement that he thought she was 18 and made a reservation for a short-term rental in Logan, Ohio on January 4th. A search of the short-term rental was conducted on January 23rd. Thomas denied hurting or the complaint read. However, when the Columbus Police Department asked him if he would tell him if he did kill her, he responded, "I think she is alive and safe." And the police in Columbus was like, "So you wouldn't tell me if you did?" To which he said, No, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't say anything earlier because I want her to be 18 and not reach back to her family. So what's that all about? That's interesting. The document stated that bank records allegedly showed that Thomas had made several charges in June 2025, which suggested that he had previously traveled to Indiana to meet Hailey. This included charges at a gas station and restaurant where she worked at. So at that time, a charge revealed that he also made a purchase at an adult novelty store in Ohio. So while looking through his phone, law enforcement officials reportedly found photos showing the two together, along with map navigation that had the location of the North Country trailhead, a location near the short-term rental. So a search of the phone also found multiple files of other suspected child stuff, including alleged photos of Hailey on a bed that was located in that rental. The phone also reportedly included a conversation on Discord with another individual who said that they were in 10th grade. On February 1st, Thomas reportedly took law enforcement to that trailhead in Wayne National Forest where her remains were located. The document said that investigators removed the snow and upper layer off of frozen dirt and eventually unearthed dismembered. Wow. Documents do not provide any further details on how Thomas went from denying any details of her death to leading law enforcement to her buried remains. In the short-term rental, federal law enforcement officials reportedly located potential traces of blood, and those items are awaiting further analysis. So, yeah. So his lawyers trying to fight for him. That's pretty much that. But and I think I'm cool off this article here. But essentially, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck. What is it, y'all? Sounds like he's very much because so you knew that she was no longer with us, and you took us to where you knew her body was at. Sounds like you did that, buddy. You did something to her. Not only did you put her in pieces. This is crazy. This is crazy. So there's a lot of people like, parents got to be more involved. Parents need to be this, that, and the third. I'm not sure. We don't know what's going on in that household. I don't know. I don't know what would drive somebody to take interest in somebody that they met online. And actually I do. Because that's what the internet is all about, dude. When you are online, you are able to portray yourself as, we heard of catfish, right? But it's not just about being a catfish from your profile picture. You can also be a catfish from who people would think that you are, not just from a physical standpoint. So you come off as being the most cool person in the world. You might be like, oh man, this person just sent me some Robux. This person just did this for me. This person being really cool. They talk to me. They ask about my day at school, and like nobody else asked me about my day at school. My parents don't ask me about that, blah, blah, blah. It's really easy to portray yourself as something that you may or may not be. That's what the internet's for. See, back in the day, I came up with MySpace and Facebook and all that type of stuff when I was young. When I was younger, when it first came out. And there was a lot that I mean, that was the first opportunity of, hey, yo, you got a Facebook, yo, you got a MySpace. By social media opened up the door, and it wasn't because it used to be just for Call of Duty and playing NBA 2K online, all that stuff. And then the internet changed to something else. The internet changed into just like, it used to have to go to the mall to get somebody's number. You used to have to actually get to know somebody to make them like you. But nowadays, right now, if I wanted to, I could just randomly look at a city, and I don't know, what's a random place? Indonesia. And I just start chatting online right then and there with just random women in Indonesia if I want to. Whereas a long time ago, I would have to meet them first and see if there was any kind of interest in order for us to continue conversation or build a bridge of communication. Now, I mean, nowadays, you just log on somewhere. You just log on and you do what you want to. Talk to whoever you want to. I can literally DM Beyonce right now on Instagram. I don't mean she's gonna read it, but she happens to scroll and sees it, and she's like, "Who's this?" She might actually have seen me before. You never. I have not. I have not inboxed Beyonce. By the way, I had too much respect for Jay-Z, and I have way too much self-awareness. But at the same time, that's what's opening this stuff up. And again, I brought that up because that used to be such a guy's thing. Playing video games, they used to be such a guy thing. Now we know that, not even know. I think we always known this. It's just like, it just seemed like the guy thing to do is play video games, and that wasn't a girl thing to do. We go on Twitch right now, and all you're gonna see, if you scroll on your front page, is gonna be a whole bunch of ladies, and they're playing video games, probably games you play. Matter of fact, shout out to Amari Gold. I didn't know she played video games. I know the other stuff that she do. I know all about that. I know what she do. I know she played video games, and she's doing quite well off of being on Twitch and streaming games. And shout to her for that. But we know her for more than just that. But that's how I've been seeing her. I've been seeing her on Twitch. I forget what her other profession at the time was that I saw her online. But it's so easy to just put yourself out there, and then you can get into parasocial situations. You can get into situations where people might get to stalking you. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have gone through the whole somebody consistently bothering you online, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, internet just gives you access to everybody, where you used to be able to just have to go to the mall, go to Kmart, go to Walmart, run into something, go to the bar, go to one of those parties after school, and run into somebody that run into somebody, and then see if the interest is mutual. That's how it used to be, but it's not like that anymore. So, with that being said, we got to look at this, because I didn't even know about Session until this happened. So I don't even know about this, because man, when I was in school, my grandparents, they didn't know about MySpace and what I can do on it. I can have a cool background with money signs on it and play whatever music song that I want to play on my page. I was doing this all in like third and sixth period of school. And my grandparents didn't know what I was doing. Hell, I started off with AIM, AOL, Instant Messenger. Started off with that. And they didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was chatting with hot chicks online. But I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I think more than anything, I think we are becoming parents at a much younger age now. So we should be kind of close to what's going on and should know. But I did not know about this session thing. Um, End of the day, I hate that this happened. I hate that whatever was going on, she thought that the grass was much greener on the other side. Cause it very, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But I just know me. I am a girl dad. And the thing that I hate the most in this world is how the state of the world has really messed up a lot of women because of the things that they've been through, right? I don't even want to say messed up. We don't got to call it messed up. Just not ideal situation for them to have to go through. I mean, I've had girlfriends that have been, you know, taken advantage of, or, people that they trusted put them in bad situations and they felt powerless, or I've heard it all. Trust me, I've heard it all from a lot of people that I think genuinely have a really good heart. They just sometimes they either get too comfortable, or I don't know. I'm not trying to make. I'm not blaming victims or anything on. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going off of my experience in life and the people that I met, the women that I met, and throughout my life. And there's always some fucked up story, right? Of every woman I've ever dated ever since I was younger, like ever since I was a kid. Like they always have this really fucked up ass story, and I hate that because to me they seem like they would seem like the treasure at the time, and then you hear about these things that happened to them. It's like, wow, this person really defiled something that's so beautiful to you in your eyes, but somebody would go before you knew them. We're treating them as like an object or a funny story or just something they could say whilst leaving them to deal with that trauma. And I hate that. And unfortunately, I've had I've had the unfortunate streak of running into pretty much every girlfriend I met or every girlfriend I've had has this real fucked up story, right? It's because of people like him. Why was this dude 39 years old running around on rope? Well, we know why he's 39 years old running around on Roblox because he was trying to talk to kids, man. And then obviously, so he's taking videos and stuff, and he's trying to do other stuff with it. And I'm not sure I don't know what this guy is, man. But I know, sounds like to me, he's an unaliver, and he is a PDF file, and whatever happens to him, based off of when all these facts come out, because I know there's gonna be more facts that come out. He just got to get what he deserves, man. And I'm gonna say that Hailey Buzbee, a sister girl out of Indiana, not a lot of national coverage until stuff, but I've been watching this show called Found over the last few weeks, maybe a month, since Christmas break. I've been watching Found. And, I always tear up a little bit when they find the missing child or the missing person that was missing because they were undocumented immigrant, or they're missing because and nobody looked for them because they were a drug addict, or like people stop caring about people because of their own reasons. And then I always like it's always a little bit of a tearjerker every episode because it's somebody that's like that has every right to, like, people should be wanting to look for them. People should be wanting to find them. So that brings me to my last point. Is apparently there's going to be some laws that they're working on. It's called Hailey's Law. I'm sick of people making laws about shit that should be already handled, but we have to keep on naming laws after victims that can know that are not here to see these laws go into place. Always do this shit after something happens to somebody and they can't even see that there's I don't know what to call it. Do you call it sacrifice? Do you call whatever happened? They were put in a fucked up situation. And now there's a law that they're putting in because for instance, I believe when it comes to like the police department and saying that a kid is missing, well, there has to be some kind of viable source that they're in danger. They probably just went to their cousin's house and stayed for a few days. You know how these kids are. They probably got a little boyfriend over there. They're just hanging out. Mom doesn't care, so they're just hanging out over at the boyfriend's house. Oh, they're just having. You wouldn't let them go to a party. They just ran away. They'll be back. Well, then you get cases like Hailey. No, ain't no poo pooing that. Something really bad happened to her. But there's all these laws in place that, like, in procedures that you can't get into until after a certain amount of time passes. And I learned that watching Found, and I learned that with a lot of these missing kids cases, they're gone more than 30 days or so, man. They don't start talking about it until after they've been gone for a lengthy amount of time. So in this particular case, I think she was gone for like 15, 16 days before they even got a host to him. Maybe they were being quiet about it because, like, I think we got an idea who she's talking to, but we don't want to spook them. We don't want to spook them. So we're not going to let him know. And that's smart. We're not going to let him know that we're on his ass. Right. But I don't know. It's a sad situation all around. And the only way that we can combat this is when it comes to men, us raising our boys. What would I say? No means no. You'll be all right. Get over it. It happens. I wasn't always the most handsome guy in the world. I like to think I was, but I was different, right? And that wasn't nothing for me to be just like tripping and like, no, I gotta have it. I gotta have her. I gotta do all this depraved. No, it was never that. You wake up the next day to shoot ball. But the thing is that, man, we gotta put, especially in this world of streamers. Now I talk about streamers a lot and their overnight celebrity and success. Man, listen, it's a lot of them cats that's really actually weird, and they have not been popular or ever really talked to anybody outside of the internet until they got famous for being on the internet. So now they're outside and they're like, oh, this is how the rest of the world works, and they do really weird shit because they don't know what's going on. So try your best. I would say we got to raise the boys into men with respect and letting them know that there's always a tomorrow. It does not have to be today. Patience, and doing the right thing. I mean, we all watching anime right now. We all watch it. The world watches anime. So, man, watch it. Watch Naruto. Watch all these different anime that have all these great moral values. Let them watch it. Back in the day, they used to laugh at me for watching anime. I think I'm a pretty solid moral high ground, upstanding guy. I believe. That's where I'm at. So, I mean, do that. And then not every home is a completely intact one. Sometimes there are broken homes. I get that. I understand that. I get that. But when you do have your opportunity to leave your mark, especially with the ladies, let them know that they are loved. Let them know that they are self-sufficient, that the only thing that they need to be happy is themselves and what they have. Let them know that they always have you. Let them know that they do have friends. People say that I don't have friends all the time. I don't got no friends, blah, blah. It's a lie. You got family. Some people say I don't talk to my family. So, no. They got somebody, or they wouldn't be out there saying what they say. Maybe it's on Facebook or whatever. They got people that they want to care about the situation. So they care about people. But let these little girls know that they are loved. They don't need anything. And then give them the cues when something is ick. If something is ick, it doesn't feel right. Let somebody that you love, which should be your parents first and foremost, or whoever your guardian is or whatever, let them know something's just not right, and let the adults handle that and figure out what's going on. Because again, I can't say it enough. I hate more than anything for a girl or just anybody. Yeah, I hate for anybody to be taken advantage of, because whether it be their naivety or if they're just such a trusting person, or like, I'm a good person. So that means everybody that I run into, they have good intentions for me because I'm a good person. And then you end up with some fucked up shit happening to you. We got to do the best that we can to instill in the children to keep their head on a swivel, keep your mind open to all the potential dangers and for red flags. Not teaching them to be afraid. It's just like, if a super crazy hot model sends me a DM on Facebook or something and says, "Hey, cutie, came across your pro," I need to know that that's a fake person. And then also, even if it's a real person, I need to be able to discern if this person is serious or not. Like, talk to your friends, even if you don't want to talk to your homies. I mean, if you don't want to talk to your parents, talk to your friends. Like, hey, do you think this is right? Or talk to a coworker. There's so many resources that you have just by walking out the door, not the internet. Talk to real people. And maybe they can give you the advice that you might need to get out of a situation or to keep you from getting into a situation that you want to be in. So again, I'm not putting this on her. I'm not putting this on Hailey. It's just like, and I hate for shit like this to happen, to put us back on notice, because we should always be on notice and we should always have our head on a swivel. We should. But unfortunately, some people have a leash that's longer than others. And some people are really tight to it. The ones that the leash is longer than others, they're just like, ignorant in a sense. Or not ignorant, but they just don't know. Or I don't even want to say that. Or sometimes they know and they just don't care what's going to happen to them. Maybe they give up. I don't know. But we just got to stay in tune with the people that we care about, especially the ladies that are oh so vulnerable. Because at the end of the day, y'all know what I'm getting at. Y'all know what I'm getting at. So prayers up to her family. And I hope that whatever is supposed to happen happens at this point. The bad part happened. I hate that happened, but okay. So the other bad things that are supposed to happen, let's go ahead. Well, bad for that person, but if there's some good that can come out of this, I hope that we get this, right? So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Do You Hear Me with Unico Williams. I am Unico Williams. You can catch me on YouTube, UNIQO Williams. You can catch me everywhere, all social media. Unico Williams, UNIQO Williams. Also, make sure you follow all my friends. Overall 99 Media, Make It Make Sense, the podcast, Hollywood, Cellmate. I got a lot of friends. They're all over the country, but they're people that I trust. So that being said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Do You Hear Me with Unico Williams. I holla. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much.